Fraser. The WA star has won.
Welcome to Greyhound Gossip, featuring Peter O'Neill. This is where we take a look at the WA Greyhound racing scene, keeping a close look at what is happening on and off the track.
Keep an eye on the clock. She is brilliant, Miata. She stops the clock. 36.55, a new track record. And a very good morning, everyone. Welcome along to Greyhound Gossip. A couple of days after the Group 1 Sky Racing Perth Cup and Galaxy, and what a night it was. And I want to start off the show by congratulating Greyhounds WA and all the team out there. The track was in outstanding order, and I thought that the crowd was one of the largest, if not the largest, that I've seen since the new track opened, and I thought everything went really well. Loved the DJ. There was a lot of atmosphere, and great to see the upstairs of the Box 1 restaurant open as well. So hats off to Greyhounds WA. It was a big night of greyhound racing, and of course we had the outside broadcast. Congratulations to Leah Ernest and also David Short, Jeff Miller, our technician, for being able to put the show together. I hope that you all enjoyed it for those that were listening in on Saturday night, and we'll be back again on Sandgroper night with another outside broadcast live from Cannington. We started off the night with Go Seek Katoni causing somewhat of an upset in the consolation of the Perth Cup, and then Maximum Kuna was successful for Michael Johnson. But what a night it was for Steve Withers and also Chris Halse, the successful trainers of the Group 1s on Saturday night. And it all started in race number 4. It was the Group 1 Sky Racing Perth Cup final. Trooper Tears started favourite from box number 1. Group 1 Sky Racing Perth Cup. The green light is on. The tab touch box is loaded. Trooper Tears the favourite in 1 and they're set. Ready. Racing, Trooper Tears wanted to get up the track. He bumped heavily with Buddy Manelli and getting across Sunset Frazier. Also coming across was Uncle Tommy. Uncle Tommy and Sunset Frazier go together. Out wider was Mapunga Shine, then followed by Transponder up on the inside. Trooper Tears, Mapunga Smoky in behind them as they go down the back straight. Sneaky Emoji, Transponder, and last of all off the back was Buddy Manelli. But as they start to swing, Sunset Frazier joined now by Uncle Tommy. In behind them was Mapunga Shine running on in the straight. Uncle Tommy, Mapunga Shine's coming. It's Tommy though. Uncle Tommy wins the cup. Second, Mapunga Shine. Third in was Mapunga Smoky. Back on the inside, Sunset Frazier along with Sneaky Emoji in a photo. Close up behind them, Trooper Tears, Buddy Manelli and Sneaky Emoji last in the Group 1 Sky Racing Perth Cup. Uncle Tommy successful, 29.81, new personal best, and a sensational run and a sensational training performance by our first special guest this morning on Greyhound Gossip, Steve Withers. How do we find you a couple of days after a Group 1 success on your home track at Cannington?
Morning, Pete. Very humbling intro there. Thanks for that. Yeah, great morning. Feeling well.
Good to hear. Good to hear. What a night it was for you and for Tommy Shelby and the connections of Uncle Tommy. First of all, Uncle Tommy, when we had the box draw last Monday, I wasn't actually there. What stage did Uncle Tommy get drawn out?
I wasn't there either because after watching the heats on Saturday night and seeing the quality and the talent that had got through and the times they were capable of running, I went off to the gym to do a bit of training. I figured we had no chance, and I sent the wife, Kira, and my daughter, Mackenzie, up, and Mick and Jody both went up as well, and they came out first.
As the heats were going on the week before, and I had a runner in a later heat on the program, I was thinking to myself that if you did qualify, you would want to draw box number 1 and hope that Trooper Tears draws box number 2, because we knew that he was going to give plenty of concerns to those drawn on his outside. When the box draw fell and Trooper Tears drew box number 1, it must have given you some sort of confidence, the fact that you were going to miss that trouble from out wide.
Well, first instinct was when I heard that we drew box 8 that we started out with no hope, and at box 8 we probably had less than no hope. But as the rest of the draw filled in and the chances drew where they drew, and you sort of thought, hang on, these guys are all drawn upside down. There may be 1% chance here down the outside that if you step clean, there could be some clean running. But there were some very hard luck stories in that race. I think a couple of them runners still haven't seen daylight this morning. So some dogs out of there to follow going forward.
Yeah, certainly, but he was able to get across. He worked across. He jumped brilliantly, probably the best that he's ever jumped, and sat on the outside of Sunset Frazier, and Trooper Tears tried to hunt up going into that first corner. So the fact that he positioned himself so close to Sunset Frazier, who we know is not strong over the concluding stages, you must have had some sort of excitement going along the back straight.
Yeah, that was the only hope we had. Our job was to get our dog right, and luckily enough, we'd had the program set right and got him to peak exactly on the night and find his best. And he did that. He did everything perfectly for himself. And the brakes went his way, and Sunset Fraser was charging over there like he always does with his brilliant speed and carving down to the rail, and just was able to clear a little bit of a path for us to tack in on behind of him and try and follow him along.
This race means so much to you, and I'm sure Kira and the owners of Uncle Tommy, but especially for you because you had Tommy Shelby a number of years ago. He was being set for the Group 1 Sky Racing Perth Cup, and unfortunately he had that injury. And I remember you telling us the story going into the series when he hadn't raced for some time. The only work that you could do with him was basically in the swimming pool.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, he swam for 5 weeks straight. Wasn't able to run. We kept him on the lead, walking and swimming, and he went into the heats first up out of the pool, and he did a great job. He ran his little heart out, did it all on ability, and just got tired late in the run and got run down on the line and qualified for a consolation. Was lucky enough to pick up the win in the consolation.
Yeah, his time was good too in the consolation the following week where he had a little bit more fitness in. And then 12 months later, you went across to the Golden Easter Egg. And tell us the story about what happened at the Easter Egg and what stopped you from coming back to Perth for another tilt at the Perth Cup with him.
Yeah, he was at the top of his game at that stage. Went to Sydney for the Golden Easter Egg after he was successful in the Australian Cup. And we were all set to go, and Sydney hit a 1 in 100 year flood. The Windsor River flooded, Wentworth Park flooded. They had to put the whole series back a week, and yeah, we subsequently threw a big tantrum, and we weren't very happy, made a fair bit of noise about it. But when they put the Easter Egg series back a week, it clashed with the Perth Cup Carnival, which was really upsetting that Group 1 races, big Group 1 races like that, clash with each other. And yeah, we had to make a decision to stay in Sydney where we were, or to bail and come home to the Perth Cup. And we missed our opportunity at Perth.
Tell us, if you can, explain to our listeners the feeling for you as a Group 1 winning trainer of a Perth Cup with Uncle Tommy, the feeling of that and compared to the 3 Group 1s that his dad, Tommy Shelby, won on the East Coast.
Yeah, very comparable. On the Golden Easter Egg, your Melbourne Cups, your $1 Million Chasers and Australian Cups, they're massive races with huge prestige, a lot of history, and very, very special races, and they're humbling to be in, and they're big nights. But I suppose for anybody outside of Western Australia, it may not be the same, but for the place that you grew up and seen your first dog race and had your first involvement, and you hear every week you only get one chance a year at one Group 1 in Western Australia, and to be able to qualify for a Perth Cup and get one here at home, it was something I didn't think we'd ever get the chance to do. We thought we may have had an opportunity with Tommy himself, but figured that window was closed, and to get a second chance and against all odds on Saturday night, it's pretty hard to believe.
And to beat such an outstanding field, I mentioned Trooper Tears, who the week before went 29.39. You then have the Top Gun, Adelaide Cup winner Transponder. You have Buddy Manelli, who made a Melbourne Cup final. Mapunga Smokey, who made the Australian Cup and Adelaide Cup final. Mapunga Shine, who won the Silver Chief. And then we know how good Sunset Fraser is, and Smokey Emoji, also a very talented chaser. It was a really classy field. To be able to beat all those on Saturday night must have been extra special.
Yeah, extremely classy field, and above just being a classy field, they were all dogs that were current form, and they proved it on heat night. It was probably the deepest quality field that you'd seen in a Perth Cup for a long time, and then there was little old us stepping up from the 400 metres and trying to rise up against the big dogs, yeah.
Start number 20. Remarkable that he's won a Group 1 at such a young age. He was whelped in December 2021. Let's go back to the beginning of Uncle Tommy. West on Poppy, who actually bred him?
That was Linda Britton and Chris Halse. It was a big litter and had a lot of girls in the litter, and fortunate for us, they couldn't keep all the girls after their racing careers. So we were able to pick up Poppy through Linda and Chris, and Mick and myself obviously looking for broods for Tommy, our own stud dog, and we thought it should be a great match, and we went that way.
Okay, so West on Poppy, her mum was Elamar Fever, who was a very talented chaser in her own right. Has she had any other litters, and what made you decide to go to Tommy Shelby, just because of the fact of her breeding?
Yeah, look, with the Barcia Bale Cross had been proven back to Tommy's mum, Serena Fly High, with Jungle Juice being in the second litter and working, and Tommy was fresh into stud duties at that stage, so we obviously wanted to give him a chance ourselves, and she looked like a great match. You knew the mother was a Group 1 girl, and it looked like a great match. And she was a talented girl herself, Poppy, and to get the opportunity to breed into that line, we were pretty happy about that. So we went that way, and she has had another litter. She's got a litter just in pre-training at the moment from Aussie Infrared, and then she'll return back to Tommy for her third litter.
They'll be valuable. Kanan Stark, some of the others in the litter, Kanan Stark and also Care Factor. They've all been very, very impressive. And we saw an emotional win for you on Friday night in the 50 years of racing. The Dean Starkey Lip Tricks, who's a litter sister, I think, to Uncle Tommy. That must have been special for you there on Friday as well.
Yeah, she's a sister to Uncle Tommy, and yeah, it was obviously the 50 years of racing. There's been lots of people that have been involved in the industry for a lot of years, having names raced after them. And Dean Starkey was a great mentor of mine, a great friend, very close. And I wouldn't be the person I am today in greyhound racing or outside of it without Dean's guidance and help through the early years. And unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, and that was the race named after him. And yeah, funny enough, one of our dogs happened to salute there. There might have been a little bit of help from above. Yeah, it
might have been, for sure. He was a great guy. Just back to Uncle Tommy, how did, and I love the name of the syndicate, the After Party Syndicate, and you've had a lot of success. How did the syndicate celebrate the Group 1 win there on Saturday night?
Much more maturely than in years gone by. So we live and learn, and hopefully we get better as the years go by. So it was much more maturely celebrated.
All right, good to see, good to see. Now, we spoke with our outside broadcast and you spoke to us as well, and we appreciate all of the trainers and the participants for coming over and joining us on our outside broadcast there at Cannington on Saturday night. We spoke with Robert Britton, also Jeff Britton. They mentioned that there's been some talk with the Total Container Solutions in regards to a slot for the Sandgroper. Has there been any talk prior to the Perth Cup or since the Perth Cup from any slot holders in regards to Uncle Tommy?
No, we haven't had any contact at this point, and I suppose there's a lot of good options out there in the racing community, so it really comes down to personal preferences, and there's lots of different ways that you could look at the race unfolding, and you couldn't begrudge anybody choosing any different dogs or the version that they see the race unfolding, so hopefully we get a phone call, but not holding our breath.
Yeah, one thing that probably would have made slot holders sit up and take notice was the fact that he showed that early speed to be able to join Sunset Frazier past the judge the first time. That's something that I think a lot of slot holders would be looking at, especially after we saw, we know what Cannington can do, and being on pace is very, very helpful. And we saw Crumble Manelli lead throughout last year.
Yeah, look, speed's king. That's greyhound racing all over, and it certainly suits Cannington. Speed's very helpful in all races, and he's got a lot of speed. Not quite the speed of Sunset Frazier. We're probably aided by a little bit of interference as Frazier was trying to push over. But he's certainly a speedy dog, as the early part of his career was all 400-metre racing. And
what a night it was for Tommy Shelby, the sire, a Group 1, of course, a couple of months ago up in Queensland with Morton, who'll be representing Tab Touch in the Sandgroper, and then to get his second in the Perth Cup on Saturday night. And then a couple of, or an hour later, he has his third in the Group 1 Galaxy with Weston Burney, who was outstanding in taking out the Galaxy final.
Yeah, that was really crazy. Obviously, your emotions are really high. You've a little bit stunned at how the result had unfolded in the Perth Cup and how fortune had gone your way, and then to be able to sit there on the fence and cheer Burney home like he was one of your own, being a son of Tommy, that was very thrilling. We enjoyed that every bit as much as we did our own.
His progeny are flying, aren't they?
Doing a great job, yeah. And you look locally here, I guess West Australia's proven again that we don't just have good race dogs, we've got good broods, and now we've got our own version of great sires as well. Sunset Spitfire and Zach and Weston Augie, Vice Grip, Link Machine will join the ranks soon. There's Quick Jaggers, there's Vanderwarp. You could just keep going. We've really built our own strong industry here over the last 15 years.
We certainly have, but it's been very difficult for locally based sires that, some outstanding chasers on the track that haven't been able to become successful at stud, and the way that Tommy Shelby has started his stud career and he's got so much ahead of him has just been outstanding.
Yeah, opportunity, I suppose it comes down to being lucky enough to get that opportunity and prove yourself, and then it can flow on from there. So Tommy had a slightly different journey through COVID. He was a lot based on the East Coast with us, and luckily enough through the show and his name, he built that social media profile, which probably created a lot of that opportunity for him.
Congratulations, Group 1 winning trainer here at home in Perth with the Group 1 Sky Racing Perth Cup with Uncle Tommy. To you and to the After Party Syndicate, well done. Enjoy, I'm sure you will, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, really appreciate it, Pete. Thank you.
Good on you. Steve Withers joining us, and a Group 1 winning trainer here in Perth. Our next special guest has been a Group 1 winning trainer here for numerous occasions in Western Australia and was again on Saturday night. Chris Halse is about to join us. Let's go back and relive the Group 1 Sky Racing Galaxy. Weston Booney was heavily supported late, but he was one of the last out of the boxes. Group 1 glory ahead. Weston Booney favourite, they're set. Racing, Weston Booney last out, showing early speed was Chloe Ant, hunting up on the inside was Flashing Kuna, working across from out wide was Argyle Queen, then followed by Miss Ronnie Mack. Weston Booney gets through, ahead of Jelly Manelli zipping Neutron, and last of all was Savick into the straight. Chloe Ant, the leader, out by 2 lengths on Argyle Queen, up on the inside Flashing Kuna. Weston Booney goes around them and bumps Miss Ronnie Mack up on the inside, then followed by Jelly Manelli. Savick is now working into the clear, and well back in the field was Argyle Queen as they go off the back straight. Chloe Ant is still the leader, out by a length and a half. Weston Booney levels up to the outside. Here comes Booney, strikes the front, then followed by Jelly Manelli and Savick around the corner. Weston Booney, another son of Tommy Shelby, flying was Jelly Manelli. Weston Booney getting tight, held on. Weston Booney's won the Galaxy. Jelly Manelli flew late, got second. Third across the line, I'd say, was Chloe Ant ahead of Savick, then followed by... Yes, brilliant victory by Weston Booney at only his second career start over the 700 metres. Great training performance by Chris Halse, who joins us on Greyhound Gossip this morning. Chris, good morning. Congratulations. That was an outstanding training performance to get this greyhound. I know it was a little bit rushed late, but get him to win a Group 1 Galaxy final.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Look, I didn't do much work towards that this week. As you know, I had 2 new knees put in 2 or 3 weeks ago, but got a good team behind us. You know, Linda just taken over really well, and just Linda, Luke, Gordon, everything, and it was a real buzz for everybody. And look, I was sitting in the armchair watching it. It was just some run too. So, look, for everybody at home here, it was a real good big buzz to see him come up and win like that.
Yeah, well, when you go into hospital, I'll ask you how you are with your knees in a moment, but when you go into hospital and you have Linda behind you, who's won this race numerous times before, with some very, very good chases, it's always good hands. How are your knees at the moment? And it's been, 3 weeks? How are you recovering?
Look, mate, I'm going along really, really well. I was on crutches only for about 2 days, and I was out of them, and both knees are going along really well. It's a bit better than expected, actually. It's probably, you can rest easy when you've got people working for you like that, and and doing the job for you and making sure the ship runs well. And I'm impressed with the knees. That's another Group 1 win for me, if you actually the way they're coming along at the moment. So look, everything's been super with it at the moment. Just got to keep the head in the right place to keep moving along with everything, and and the team are doing a good job here. Makes my life a lot easier.
That's good to hear, and it'll be good to see you back at the track. You would have watched it on Sky Racing at home on Saturday night, but if we go back to, just prior to you having the knee reconstructions, King Tommy was all the talk of the town. Of course, you had Couch Surfer, who was also travelling well at the time, and then King Tommy goes amiss, and you had the pre-post favourite for the series, Flying Frida, who happened to be scratched on the morning of the heats last week. That must have been disappointing for you. Yeah,
it was. She picked up a hairline fracture the start before, so it was a shame she didn't get there, to represent Justin. I think we sort of deep down had the Galaxy earmarked for Booney as well, because they're all out of the same litter. They're all sort of they're all a similar sort of style dogs with not brilliant early pace, but you can run 400, 500, 600. The whole litter through, Booney, Nugget, Frida. We've been really lucky to have that type of dog in the kennel for the last year, because it gives you so more diversity over all 3 distances. And obviously that's where the money is when you step up in distance.
What was the thought process when Linda gave Deluxe Model and also Weston Violet 2 bitches to Justin Warwick? He'd never been involved in breeding before, and he ends up, now looking back in hindsight, it was a good move.
Oh, look, I think we were, Justin's pretty a professional in most things he does. He calls himself lucky as well. So, he did a dual purpose for him with the cattle trade he has. And, our thinking behind it was, if you're stepping someone into the game for the first time, you may as well look after them as well, so they get a good experience. And he would have spread the word more for greyhound racing than most other people that got involved. So he only talks it up. He never talks it down. So and he's turned out to be like he's in pretty close with the kennel. So it's good.
Let's go back to West Onburnie and talk us through the weeks leading into the series. Of course, we lost a meeting because of the heat policy. This greyhound had a win over the 600 metres, which was in sensational time, 34.40. And then you stepped him up for the first time. Were you confident going in that you had enough miles in his legs going into the heats of the Galaxy?
Look, I dare say we knew we sort of deep down know you can run it. Even like early days over the 500, and he runs home enormous, and the whole litter are very similar. Even Nugget, we leading into the heats, we were sort of a bit worried they've only had the 1/600 under their belt, but Nugget had had a few more weeks off, and Booney had been consistently racing, so that sort of helps you out. And everything sort of like I'm glad he stepped up because you lost Frida to the series and whatnot. So for everybody's sake, even Justin's sake, like he bred him, so he's got a buzz out of it, and we got a big buzz out of that actually on Saturday night. And I was in one room and I could hear Linda cheering in the other room. So it was a really good night.
And Luke Townsend, he didn't handle him. It was handled by Brodie Kirby, who did a really good job, and well done to Brodie with his first Group 1 winner as a handler. But gee whiz, Luke went a little bit ballistic, I've seen on social media.
Yeah, look, that's great.
It is good, isn't it?
It is. It's really good. It just reminds me of the day when Quick Jagger won the Sale Cup for us with Declan and Yom, and someone taking a little video of them celebrating. But no, that's good. It's when it sort of gives you, that's why you do it. You train greyhounds and you're in the sport to see people enjoy it like that. And I've seen you Pete before, so it's good.
yeah, we all go mad, and I'd be going mad too if I won a Group 1. But West Onburnie, it was a big run. He missed the kick. He wasn't the quickest out. He then found trouble going out of the straight the first time when he bumped trying to cross. It wasn't probably the best of watches, but gee, it was a tough win.
Oh, look, I was surprised when they jumped. I was going, oh no, we're we're in trouble here. But just the way he chased through early for the first 300 is that, I know Jelly Nelly looked a really great run, and she looks a genuine 700-metre dog. But the way he chased through the first 500 to get to where he got, then hitting the front off the back, you're waiting for the petrol tickets to run out on him. But look. It was just some run, and we were so impressed with it, and it was a real good effort. And
great for you and the Westerns, who you've had a lot of success with. How did you celebrate? Have you been able to celebrate yet? Another Group 1?
Mate, I haven't. Look, we haven't celebrated yet. I'm probably holding it up because I've sort of hadn't had a drink or anything for nearly a month, so we're preparing for this operation they're in. So in a couple of weeks' time, when all the medications and everything I'm on or off, we'll probably all go out for a big lunch somewhere and grab Brodie, Justin and everyone along and then just enjoy the day.
Good on you. Congratulations to you, to Linda, Luke, the Westerns and all of the team. I know it was a big team effort, especially with what you've had to go through. Good to hear that you're back up on your feet, and we'll see you back at the track soon. And congratulations on the Group 1 win of West Onburnie in the Sky Racing Galaxy there on Saturday night.
Thanks very much, Pete. Thanks very much.
Good on you. Chris Halse, great to see 2 local chasers and locally bred chasers winning the Group 1 Sky Racing Perth Cup and Galaxy. Later on today, we have greyhound racing coming in from Cannington, the first getting underway at 6:02. We'll take a break, and then straight after this, we'll come back and be joined by Leah Ernest and also the team with Off and Pacing.